Good day, my Telos podcast friends. Today I've got something for you that is tantalizing. What if you could have Satoshis in your EOSIO wallet? What if BTC showed up in your Telos wallet? It would be like a competitor to the Lightning Network. It'd be like a life raft to BTC to get those coins moving around. Well, lucky for you that this is actually something that's being worked on and actually is working kind of on the back end, and it is coming soon to a EOSIO wallet near you. So today we have on the show Zachary Williams, the great, the wonderful Zachary Williams, with so much to talk about. This guy's a true legend in the crypto space. He has been working on all these different blockchains, bringing together a lot of ideas. And so he came back on the show because last time there was so much to talk about, we had to do another show. So if you enjoyed the last show, or if you just generally want to know about all kinds of blockchain interoperability, what's happening next, that's what's going down in this show. As always, this is brought to you by our fantastic sound engineer, Scott from Hybrid.Games. Check out his interesting project. It is something you haven't seen before. Also, Crown.Club. The Crown community is building an epic DAC, what you can get involved in. So check out the Crown token and Crown.Club. Without further ado, I bring to you the amazing Zachary Williams.
You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain.
The Telos Podcast.
You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
All right, the one and only Zachary Williams. Welcome back to the Telos Podcast. Zach, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Too much stuff to talk about.
I know, it's cracking right now, isn't it? I love the Steem necklace and the ledger on your neck there.
Yep.
That's pretty nice, dude. That's rad. There you go. You got your whole system set up. So what's most exciting going on for you right now about all the things you want to talk about?
All right. Well, I think first for the EOS crowd, I want to talk about something that I just got done called EOS BTCp.
Mm-hmm.
So we got this Steem engine backed Bitcoin peg of Bitcoin of EOS. Let's see if I can get it up here.
And so that means that, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, that means that people can basically trade small amounts of BTC on the EOSIO blockchain.
That's right.
Utilizing it like the Lightning Network?
Yeah, so I don't want to call it the Lightning Network, but I want to call it a competitor to the Lightning Network because, yeah, we have basically Satoshis in your EOS account. So you can have BTCp, this token right here. So here's my account. See if you can see that. There's my account. I got Zach, and I got 0.000394446. So I got 39,000 Satoshis there. Here's another account. It's got 33,000 Satoshis. So basically, you can send, once you have 0.0001, about 90 cents, 97 cents, you can cash that out to Bitcoin. You send it to Steem Engine X with the memo, BTC space, your Bitcoin address, capital BTC. That format is all posted on a site. Eventually, you won't have to format it. You just be able to go on steamengine.com, click the withdrawal button, and you'll see the memo space. You just have to type in your BTC address. You don't have to format it. But yeah, you just need at least 90 cents, and you can cash out Bitcoin from EOS BTCp. And that Bitcoin is held in a PrivX wallet that can be open sourced. You can back your own Bitcoin. You can deposit Bitcoin in an address that's not any other custodian. You can hold the keys to the Bitcoin that's backing your EOS BTCp. And it's a little complicated, and that's on the PrivX GitHub. It's a little advanced for advanced users, but that is possible. It's not like some sort of centralized system. It is, but we can decentralize it more.
So what's that look like, and who's it biggest for? The Steem blockchain, the EOSIO blockchains, for BTC? How does it affect all the different blockchains and how they work together?
Well, I mean, all this is a way for us to use Bitcoin inside of EOS. So it's just like a little life raft boat for Bitcoin. So basically, like, I'm developing a nice little mobile wallet for this. Right now, I've already applied to get the EOS BTCp onto Lynx and a Token Pocket and all those, because then we'll have a nice mobile wallet for Bitcoin. Right now, you can already use BTCp on Discord, and you can use it to send Satoshis over Steem accounts, because Steem accounts are actually even cheaper. And then I'm going to have it on Telos. I actually requested this to be on Telos, but we didn't have enough time, and PrivX only made it on EOS at first, but it will also be on Telos, just like Steem P. Steem P is a Steem-backed EOS peg, and it's on EOS, and now it's on Telos. So you can hold Steem P in your EOS or Telos account, and you can send that over to Steem Nginx and get the Steem P Steem token, the peg Steem token on Steem Engine. Steem Engine has a peg of Steem inside of Steem so that it can make transactions a lot faster. But that Steem P peg token has around 400,000 supply. Steem itself is like 300 million or something. So it's got a good chunk of the Steem supply. But yeah, it's like we got an EOS token for Steem. We got an EOS token for Bitcoin. We're going to basically have it for Litecoin, Dogecoin, Bitcoin Cash, BitShares. We have the EOSP. We also have Telos P on EOS. I'm very close to getting that on Nudex. I have 2,500 Telos that was given from the worker proposal system to airdrop to top Nudex holders. So we'll have a Telos account. We'll have a Telos token on EOS. Yeah, we're going to have all the pegs. You're going to be able to go into Telos, Nudex, and buy Litecoin, Bitcoin, all those BCH, EOS.
So is that the bigger or the near term kind of bigger picture is that you can go to Nudex and you'll be able to trade these on the Telos blockchain in the Telos section of Nudex?
Yep.
And then let's look a little further down the road. What's that mean for people just utilizing blockchain who aren't necessarily sophisticated? Is that a tool that's going to make it easier to use blockchain at some point?
Yeah, the back end for Nudex, the way it looks now, it's a little scary for some people, but we'll have little apps that will buy and sell for you a lot easier. Like you'll be able to just click a button and it will do the buying and selling for you. And in a nice mobile app with little treasure chests that pop up when you click the buy button, and your stakes will show up with a little coin. I mean, it's all just about how fancy you can make the back end. Steem and Scottbot, and even a lot of things with EOS, they're just math-based protocols for distribution, and it's just how fancy you can dress it up. It's like, how fancy can you dress up your math equation to be appealing to the rest of the world? Like the Steem white paper was really cool because it had math equations in it. So the Bitcoin white paper, you know a white paper is good when you got like a math equation in the middle. So you got like all these great back end have some nice math equations.
Yeah, there you go.
The equations are going to be the Steem equation for distribution and Scottbot. It's just basically the Steem equation. It's all derived off how much less or more of Steem. Like Steem was like 7% inflation, and then it goes down 0.5. It has like a reduction or something every year. So it's like how closely related to Steem is your distribution system. And that's like what it is. I think that's what we're going to have. I think the programmable US dollar is going to be used for the United States. I think the last time you asked me about where the US dollar is going to go, I've been just thinking about that question, and like I really am excited for the US dollar. I think the US dollar is going to be like going up so much because of cryptocurrency. I don't think it's going to crash. I think it's going to be worth more than ever. I think the fact that they've been printing up like 4 times the US dollar, like people are saying, oh, that'll make it the US quarter. Like if the QE and the quantitative, if they just could print 4 times the supply, that should make it 4 times less valuable, right? Not if they play their game the way they're playing it, where they actually distribute it to more people, create more of a demand, and create more buyers. Imagine if everyone found out the US dollar was going to be crypto backed. It would be like dude, I was watching a live streamer, Ice Poseidon, and they were talking to a homeless guy, and the homeless guy wanted to brew a rap for him, and it was a terrible rap. And so when the guy tipped him $10, everyone was like, whoa, $10, that's way too much money. So that got me thinking, $10 really isn't that much money, but on the street, it's worth a lot. They even said, like, that guy's going to eat good tonight. Like, $1 is really worth something still. Even though it's worth a lot less than it used to be, it's still the best game in the fucking planet. Like, this is the plan. They're going to have the programmable US dollar, some sort of EOS back system. I heard Stellar was even going to do something. Like, it's going to be EOSIO. It's going to be Block One. They're going to have, and if it's not, it's going to be someone who is more intelligent than Dan. It's going to be more of whoever was more of a salesman than Dan Larimer will get this gig. But it's going to be a contract handed out by the U.S. government. Some blockchain is going to get it. Of course, it's going to be EOSIO and Block One. They're the ones in Virginia. They're the ones that have the investment and accounts and safety and all that. So basically, U.S. dollar will be backed by blockchain. We got like Tether, we got USDC, all that shit. I mean, who cares what it's going to look like? It's going to happen We're America. We're the ones that develop and innovate. We're number one, dude. I'm sorry. People want to talk shit all day, but like CIA has control of this fucking planet on a level we don't even know. It's called full spectrum dominance, global information grid. They have been planning this shit for years, and like it's all decentralized, like a decentralized open source intelligence system where like, dude, it's crazy. Like I don't see the US dollar is collapsing. I'm pretty sure the US dollar is going to be strong because of cryptocurrency and because of EOSIO. And that just gives me this crazy pride because people want to talk shit about government. They want to talk shit about, they want to be crypto anarchists. They want to talk shit about borders. Then you realize all those people are just kind of like, they don't want to be patriotic, and that's fine. After 9/11, I didn't want to be either. But, you know, after Iraq War, all that stuff, you don't want to be too patriotic. But then, you know, as a teenager, I grew up in America. Imagine that crazy, psychotic, paranoid, schizophrenic like mentality that I had to put up with when I grew up as a teenager in my formative years during 9/11 and the Iraq War. Okay, that's not normal. Americans shouldn't have been subjected as a teenager to that sort of like that experience and then come out of it and still be patriotic. And yeah, I still did. I still came out of it and said, you know what? I'm not going to let a few bad apples ruin this system for me. I'm going to take pride in the fact that this is a game, and I'm not going to let other countries tell me that my country isn't worth supporting in a rank system because we are ranked by country. That's just how it is. I'm sorry, but I'm the king of my castle in my country. Like this is neo-feudalism. We are getting to a system.
Neo-feudalism.
Yeah, dude. Time to open up your country's borders. Now you're fucking with the New World Order. Like, seriously, yeah, my friend Kevin came up with that rap. But seriously, dude, this is like the new neo-feudal system that Nietzsche talked about, the global aristocracy. If you're in America, you're number one and you won, okay? If you're part of the NATO system, you're part of the alliance. If you're in Asia and you're part of the string of pearls, you're also in the alliance. You're going to win. If we can get the Chinese and the Russians to join NATO and to get the Chinese to adopt a free market, non-communist system, to have a blockchain transparency system. Chinese would make so much money overnight if they developed their own, if they like slowly got rid of the communism. They keep socialism, it's fine. But just if they got a more liberal democracy, overnight, trillions of dollars would flood into the Chinese market. Also, if Russia and NATO, Russia almost joined NATO. If they join NATO and they actually get rid of this whole Cold War nonsense, we could have a security force that is like Starfleet. We could have a global government, one that works, not like a scary global government. We could have security, global security.
Is there a non-scary global government?
Yes, dude. It's called Starfleet. It's Star Trek. It's not scary. It's cool. It's like it's nerds controlling the world with the cryptocracy and AI that's still run by humans. Starfleet and Star Trek is about a human in control of that ship. There's still a human in control. They even said in Star Trek Voyager, if Starfleet wanted to create, if Starfleet just wanted to explore and just get data, they would just send a fleet of drones. We're about exploring with the human person there, blah blah. So anyway, the point is, we're going to have a great future. It's bright and it's based on cryptocracy, and the nation states are going to find their way in there. And the local San Diego City Bank here has this new project called the Public Bank San Diego. And that's why I'm excited about this, because San Diego has been given permission from the state of California to create a public bank. And this is came out a couple days ago on Union Tribune website, San Diego Union Tribune on the Twitter. I saw it 4 minutes after it came out, and how basically in the article it says North Park organizer of Public Bank SD, blah, 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 says, this is going to be great. We're going to print a bunch of money out of thin air and use it for great local projects. Paraphrasing, but he said we're going to print money out of thin air and use it for projects. So they're going to create a system where you're going to have
dollars. They're going to print US dollars or print their own San Diego currency.
That's the $1 trillion question. So here, let me just show you the article here.
Okay.
Tribune. Yeah, let me just San Diego Union Tribune. State legislation prompts San Diego to explore creating a city-owned public bank.
Okay, a city-owned public bank. So we're talking like a DAC here.
So nothing to do with crypto or blockchain. Just want to give a disclaimer. Nothing at all until I get to it. So, this is the plan. I'm going to walk into City Hall, and I'm going to show them the EOSVC project model template. So their idea is they're going to have, if approved, San Diego would launch its public bank which could happen as soon as next year, using hundreds of millions of dollars from city reserves that it now keeps at Bank of America.
Okay.
Going to cut out the middleman and free up hundreds of millions of dollars in liquidity, which can be used for a Telos T-Rex-based system. All city residents get to vote on the worker proposal system because there is, in this article, they explain how this money is going to be used for local projects. And the reason it didn't work in other cities is because politics gets in the way. That's one of the reasons. Politics gets in the way and people can't decide on what to spend the money on. Imagine if you were voting in a worker proposal system, just like the Telos worker proposal system, which I'll show everybody right here in the Squirrel wallet, and you would be able to give every citizen of San Diego at least one of these tokens, which they could then use to vote on projects. If they wanted more than one token, they would basically have to buy more. And we could use Warbly for KYC to make sure they're from San Diego. We could use the Challenge DAC and its GPS-based system to make sure you're in San Diego to unlock your local tokens. But using a system like the Telos Rex and Telos Worker Proposal, which I'm just going to get in here real quick, we can allow the city residents to vote. And it's going to be used. We're going to use this eventually. Who else has a worker proposal system? Dash. We're not going to use the Steem worker proposal system. We're going to use the Telos worker proposal system. I have to fork Telos, but Telos is still small enough to where I think I can convince the city of San Diego to just invest in Telos and take it over. I think that the Telos BPs are responsible enough to manage a city. I honestly do. I think that all those Telos BPs from EOS USA to EOS Amsterdam, a lot of these people, by the way, are in a U.S. soil or in NATO-backed countries. Unlike EOS BPs, I don't want to trust them with my local city government. But Telos BPs, they, like you can see right here on the BP list, they're all Cal EOS, Good Blocks, Telos Miami. I mean, they're in America.
Mm-hmm.
Or
San
Madrid.
Francisco.
Yeah. Or there's also some from Finland and Madrid, but that's NATO. So we'll have a whole system. Oh, and we also have some Telos Venezuela, but those are the Venezuelans that are backed by our American CIA Monroe Doctrine plan to control Venezuela and Latin America. I'm just kidding. Am I? Anyway, so we'll have Monroe Doctrine, bitch. You stay out of South America. That's our backyard. So we're gonna have a system where you can vote on the proposals right here for the city of San Diego's budget. So this is all without tax dollars. This is all without any tax money. I haven't even decided to put the tax money into this model yet. If we put tax money in, oh my God. First of all, we're going to have to regulate this because people are going to want to buy Sand Token just to get into this like city-backed, state-backed cryptocurrency. The feds are going to be all over this. So we're going to have to use a Telos fork. I don't want to use my existing Sand Token. I might have to fork that. I have an EOSIO chain for the Sand Token, but there's so many ways this could be done. I'm pretty sure that as soon as the city of San Diego understands that I've been like getting ready for this, they're going to check out Block One if they haven't already. I also know that there are some local Telos BPs that have been using the same color scheme as the city of San Diego's official logo as their logo. So it makes me wonder if there's already some people with some local connections to the city of San Diego. Why wouldn't there be? It's like they look up the word governance, they think of local government. I mean, at first when I joined Steem, it wasn't about that. No one was trying to make nobody in EOS or Steem was trying to make a local government system or even any type of governments besides the parallel elections. There was a system for voting for president using the EOSIO blockchain, but it never was like a full system of like getting people to vote and getting them paid. Basically, I'm at the point now with Challenge Deck, we might start paying people to show up to the voter ballots. Like the Challenge Deck, you can pay for someone to show up somewhere. What if we just pay you $1 to show up to the ballots? And it would. There's no risk of like altering an election because it's just paying people who are just showing up. It's not paying them to vote. It's just paying them to show up to vote. In fact, you could just pay them to show up next door to a party. So you could really make it super legal. Make it super above board. You could just have voting parties where you're just paying people to show up to a private bar that happens to be near the voter ballot place. Of course, you have this really messed up system with voting where you can't just vote wherever you want. You have to vote at your specific location. What if you could just vote online with your EOSIO voice account?
Why not just everyone voting from absentee ballots?
Okay. But those absentee ballots are going to have to be on the blockchain.
Yeah.
You're going to have to use D-Store for digital signatures or a Warbly. But I think a Warbly plus D-Store could really work. I think you could have a system where people, the absentee ballots, how does the government know that? Because I've been thinking about this, the digital PDF reader for the government, like for government official documents. And that applies really well for absentee ballots. How could your government know that that signature is real from that absentee ballot?
I don't think they know.
But they can with an EOS or Telos voice type system where there's a literal signing of a contract.
So yeah, I was actually just talking to Adriana Mendez in the previous podcast, and she was talking about the low hanging fruit basically being local governments and essentially documents within local governments. You don't even need to start by taking over the entire monetary system of a local government. You can start by just getting some of their documents using blockchain.
Sorry, can you pause that to edit out? I have to go. Sorry, someone's knocking on my door.
Yeah, go for it.
Just talking about. Yeah, who are you talking about that with?
Adriana Mendez. She's the CEO of Cypherglass. She was on the podcast. It's actually the new post probably tomorrow morning.
The new Cypherglass girl that took over from Rob, right?
Yes, Adriana Mendez. She was their community manager. She did all their social media and marketing and things like that, and then transitioned to the CEO role recently. And then they came over to Telos. That was one of the changes she made is instead of just being focused on only the EOS chain, she expanded to EOSIO chains in general and is part of Telos now.
Yeah, I remember that post.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I wish you would get Rob to make. I wish you'd get Rob and Zach to make an everything Telos podcast. Because I told them I could probably get them 50,000 Telos a month at least if they just made the podcast. Probably more.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they've moved on to. I'm not sure what they've moved on to, but yeah, it would be great to have them part of the ecosystem for sure.
Wait, that just cut off.
Okay, yeah. So you've got the EOS and the prices on your smartwatch. Yeah. I see XRP, EOS. That's cool. How much blockchain stuff can you do from that smartwatch?
I can only just check the prices, but they do have a wallet feature that you can use for your debit card. So really? I could put my BitPay card on here, and then I could actually,
crypto on a wristwatch. Tell us a little bit about BitPay and your BitPay card and how that works for functionality.
Oh yeah, man! I went and walked to the. I walked to the ATM, regular ATM.
ATM, okay. Oh, just regular ATM.
Yeah, regular ATM, and use my BitPay card here. Use my BitPay card.
Okay. Yeah.
And got some. And also I have this Monaco card that is also free. This Monaco card comes with a really nice case. But this Monaco card has EOS on it.
Okay. So how's that back end? How's it work for you you can pull money out of an ATM with that BitPay or a Monaco card?
Yeah, so I was able to actually take my the one, it's not mine, but the Steem Engine's Bitcoin pegged, the EOS token. I was able to actually send that 0.0001, about like 97 cents, to Steem Engine X with the memo BTC and then my Bitcoin address. And then it within like 10 minutes, like it sent me the Bitcoin to my BitPay. So Steem Engine's Bitcoin peg already worked like that. You could send money from Steem Engine right to a Bitcoin card. But now I got an EOS token that lets you send money from EOS through the smart contract to Bitcoin. Oh, wow. And I just took out some money on my BitPay card, but BitPay just added Ripple. So BitPay's got Ripple, and that means that like they've got Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, USDC, and Ripple. So
where's EOSIO? Where's the EOSIO chains?
Should be next. EOS should be next for BitPay because we're already on Coinbase. So I think we can get there too. And but yeah, back. I want to talk about the city of San Diego thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the city of San Diego is going to have. So there's really something for everything in this, said Jeff Olson, a North Park resident, spearheading the effort as head of a new organization called Public Bank SD. We're going to make a ton of money out of thin air. critics say previous efforts to launch public banks across the nation have been plagued by startup costs, profits that don't materialize for decades, and complete failures, blah, blah, blah. So basically, and these loans become political debates. So if I have a system like Telos where people vote on what gets funded, then there's not going to be debate on if it's political or not. Like if the city residents want to fund a project, they're going to be able to fund it. And also, this is the first time we're ever going to have a city system that I've ever heard of where residents go online and vote for what they want to get funded. It's about time we have that type of system. I mean,
so is that what a public bank is essentially giving residents a vote in what the bank does with their money?
No, that's what I want it to do.
Oh, okay.
It should. It probably will have a stipulation about needing to do that because the technology is there. But all this is public banking offers many potential benefits, blah, blah, blah. It's like basically, here, let me just read exactly what it does. It's a $900 million housing bond proposed. Okay, here, for example, a $900 million housing bond proposed for the November ballot would only generate about half that amount for housing projects because of interest and financing. So basically, there's like the ability to generate money. Like Bank of North Dakota, it generated $464 million since 2000. It's the ability to generate loans for buying real estate, and then you get that interest back. And right now, Bank of America is getting all that money. Hold on, can you pause the recording 1 second? Okay,
Bank of North Dakota, yeah. Go ahead. Bank of North Dakota.
Okay, so I just want to talk about the Bank of North Dakota, which is explained in this San Diego Union Tribune.com article. And they say the Bank of North Dakota, a state-owned public bank, has generated $464 million since 2000. And so that's one example that they're using. So what they do is they make loans, and then instead of Bank of America handling the loans, the city handles it, and they make a lot of money that they wouldn't have made. So other people are saying, this would require $120 million in startup capital and $2.2 billion in public subsidies, and the bank wouldn't break even for 56 years. But that's a really bad estimate that is acting like we can't even make it happen. I'm pretty sure with the blockchain, I can make a system where we don't even use taxpayer money. We just use ICO city. Like we could raise capital over an ICO because that's what the Lafayette mayor wanted to do. And nobody helped him, I guess. But okay, so this guy used to call me. He used to say he was Dan Larimer's father's friend, Stan Larimer's friend.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what his name was, but Eddie. And Eddie would always talk about how he worked with the mayor of Lafayette, Louisiana. And that's the mayor who wanted to do the whole ICO for the city. So basically, I made a post a long time ago, and I think he saw that and contacted me because of this post I made about how I wanted to have a local San Diego DAC. Now I'm at the point where we're actually getting to it, but I've got the San Diego Union Tribune talking about coming out with a public bank. So now I'm at this point where I need to go and talk to Eddie and ask him where Louisiana is at with that plan, because their plan was to have a city ICO. If you have the official city's backing for an ICO, I mean, that's going to be one of the biggest cryptocurrency crazes like in the world. Like people will think, oh, this is like an official crypto that's backed by the city. The city will actually create bonds to buy back the token in a smart contract. That's where I think a city could actually shine. And the first to do it will make the money. I think San Diego could be the first $1 trillion city, just like Apple, just like they're saying Tesla will be, like Amazon's almost $1 trillion company. People are saying Tesla will become the first $2 trillion company. I think that San Diego's plan for a smart city that Kevin Falconer has, the mayor has this plan for, San Diego, a smart city. Well, smart cities need smart contracts. And if we had a system where we forwent the ICO and we simply airdrop to all the San Diego residents the token, like I'm doing, you could have a system where people around the world would invest in the city of San Diego through the crypto markets, earning APR Telos style, 18%, 20%. In this article, they talk about like a 20% interest rate that they want to get for people to hold. I mean, that sounds like Telos to me. And the fact that they're using real estate makes it like real. It makes me have a idea that we could have a system where where it's like Sim City of San Diego develops all that land in the outskirts in the desert. And that land is tied to the blockchain with real estate smart contracts, the interest going back into the tokenomics. And you have every city resident voting with the Telos Rex worker proposal system. And they're just earning interest off their local city token. And you could even have the city workers getting paid in this whole type of system with the public sector, what's it called? Retirement plans, 401ks can be all done through this system. I mean, the idea that the city's residents can just post about San Diego in a social media system using voice and then earn tokens, that allows me to have it to where any resident can post on social media on our system instead of Facebook and Twitter, giving energy into our social media attention system. And then we end up with any homeless person on the street able to go make a post on their device and then go get points through voice without a wallet or ID, going to a store, scanning their face with a smartphone that has voice on it, and then actually getting to pay for something at a regular store using their SAN token or EOS or voice. That's what I'm seeing, a city that's like a smart city where anybody can walk around and just get filmed and record and make money, monetize their human behavior. But we're at that point where we can actually give everybody the money. It's going to be really interesting seeing everybody in San Diego just get free crypto. People are going to wonder how it's sustainable, but if the money's coming in, if we can tap that crypto market, I think it'll work. I think that people will realize that a state-backed cryptocurrency using San Diego as the start could work. And then, because in this article, they talk about how the city's got one of these 10 licenses, like the state's giving out licenses for these local banks, almost like dispensaries, like weed dispensaries. Like they're only allowing 10, and like 10 cities get to have it. But yeah, as you can tell, this is like a new thing that just happened, and I'm just realizing, oh my God, I can get the SAN thing into it and get Telos into this. I'm gonna make a new big plan, and we'll march right into City Hall, man. I have a month to prepare. They're gonna have, when is it? March 11th at 9 a.m. I'm gonna go to the city council. The city's public debate on the subject will be Olson's presentation to the city budget committee, scheduled for 9 a.m. March 11th. So I'm going to be there to support this and explain how much money the city could make if they opened up the city to investment around the world. We could even use Warbly for people who invest more than like $1 million and stuff, to make sure no terrorists are making money off the city.
Wow, that's wild. So you got to live stream that when you do that. You can live stream on my YouTube channel if you want.
Oh yeah, man, I definitely have to do that. I need help doing that. I'm going to need a lot of just preparation. That this is like where rubber hits the road. This is what like destiny, man. This is destiny. Public bank for the city. I have to get Telos into there. I have to get EOSIO. Block 1 is definitely going to have a field day with this if we can actually connect this to EOS. Block 1 is permissionless. I'm not have to ask them permission. I just have to make the software work. I'm thinking of a full suite for city workers that will be like a system for the maintenance, for the garbage workers, for the parking tickets, for the police, for all those things will be nice, and a nice DApp for Telos e-governance solutions. So a city council person can log in with a multi-sig wallet and actually have control of the SAN DAC. Like I have a whole thing planned out where I will give control of the San Diego coin account to a 12 account multi-sig wallet where 12 council people that are voted in will each get a private key, and then they'll get to make the decisions of the funding and everything.
Yeah, that's big. And the Global Blockchain Association is coming up, I think sometime coming up fairly soon as well. I know that was something Adriana Mendez was talking about going to. I think Dan Larimer is speaking at it, but I think that might be in Washington, D.C. But government.
I just saw that post about him speaking at Global Government Blockchain Conference thing.
GBA, Government Blockchain Association, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that Twitter post, and then I saw right under it the San Diego Union Tribune post about a public bank. So it's like both things at once, and my mind is just firing. I'm like, okay, this is for me. I have to get SAN token as the premier template. They may not use SAN. I don't care if they use SAN, but I'm gonna like offer it to them. Like this is yours, city. Like this is your tool. If they want to shut it down and say it's all illegal, that's fine. I don't care. They can stifle innovation. I doubt they'll do that. The way that America works is that they'll tell me exactly what I need to change, and they will appreciate that I'm doing it transparently. Like I'm offering the city and the mayor, I'm offering them to have the private keys. I don't think I can get more transparent than that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the hurdle is how you get a big chunk of it done at once. It seems like governments are more interested in taking real incremental steps.
That's fine, because we can just do it slowly, and we're doing it for them. But they're worried about the costs and how, you know, am I going to want to get a big budget to hire all sorts of guys to do something that never materializes? So we're going to make it all open source and just organic, and show that the city residents themselves are creating the tools. It's all just open source, e-governance, and but yeah, dude, it's
San Diego's a landmark city too. That's not just like you know, compared to other small cities around the U.S. Like San Diego is like that's a big one. That if they'd make a big splash in headlines if they did something like that, for sure.
Yeah, I think we're the 9th biggest or 7th biggest city. Let's see, largest U.S. cities by
Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah, Jamie, exactly. Oh, dude, Joe Rogan should have no problem getting into this new EOSIO UFO coin system I want to have. Like, you know, Project Camelot. You ever heard of Carrie Cassidy and Project Camelot?
That's why I had you on the podcast, dude. You tell me about it.
You know Tila Tequila, right?
Yeah, I heard of her.
Well, she was into Keylontic Science, which is this like UFO cult thing.
Really?
It's like an energy language it's like Esperanto for the whole galaxy.
Okay.
It's all based on this one woman's UFO conference talks, Ashiana Dean, and she's a really good storyteller and has books that unite all the aliens conspiracy stuff into one book. It's really cool. So they have like, you know, they talk about the Anunnaki and the pyramids and the Illuminati and everything all in one book. It's a really good way to entertain yourself about this stuff. But I have an idea for UFO coin using just a, you know, censorship-free forum based on Steem, just like the rest, to take over the role of above top secret and godlike productions. And there's all these forums that are about UFOs and stuff, and people are worried like, oh, what if someone actually has proof of aliens? Won't the government just go delete the document? Well, if you have Steem and dStore, you don't have to worry about that. You can have ET disclosure. We can disclose extraterrestrial presence on the planet Earth publicly, transparently. We can join the Galactic Federation.
You're going real big picture now.
Exopolitics. I spoke at a local San Diego exopolitics convention here in 2010, and I actually went on stage with Ed Grimsley, who's been on Coast to Coast with Art Bell, and we would go out to the desert. I've been out dozens of times with Ed Grimsley and Greg Maestro, the 33rd degree Freemason here in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the connections to the Scottish Rite, bro. That's the San Diego Scottish Rite Center, the Albert Pike Hall. So anyway, we're going to have a repeat of these local UFO Skywatch meetups we had. We would go out with military night vision goggles to the desert, an hour on the 8 East, Sunrise Highway on the rest stop. Beautiful view of the stars. You can, with the night vision, you got this green halo, misty view of the universe with this infrared goggle that is like military grade. And you look through it and you can see things that you just can't see with the naked eye. Mm-hmm. So we would look at UFOs with these things. Sometimes it might have been a satellite. Maybe it's just a meteor. But we have video of these things, and they're flying around. We have lasers. We shoot lasers at them, and they'll sometimes fire lights back at us. Sometimes we have video of these things in downtown using the Yukon 2.5 den night vision. Less good than the $1,000 PVS 7 military night vision, but you can get hunting night vision goggles, and you can see some shit really nice. So basically, if we have video of like a UFO or something, we want to put it on a blockchain Telos dStore based system so that we can disclose this information. You know, I want to make blockchain fun and get all the ayahuasca UFO people into it. I mean, that's what the big celebrities want to get into, the Tila Tequilas of the world and all the, you know, they want to do some fun. That's why I plan to expand the San Diego Zoo with the public, with the public bank money for San Diego. The one project all San Diegans are going to get behind is an expansion of the San Diego Zoo. So every school system of San Diego is going to have a little local zoo. So you're going to have satellite zoos. San Diego Zoo has already been expanded. It's called the Wild Animal Park. It's up in Escondido. I'm going to have basically walkway, like bike paths that you can use electric scooters on because they're everywhere here. So we'll have a walkway that connects San Diego Wild Animal Park to San Diego Zoo. Balboa Park will be expanded. We'll have every one of the major, the top 5 to 10 San Diego school district schools, like San Diego High and Link, all the big schools that have way too many kids in them, the urban schools, they're going to have a beautiful little San Diego Zoo enclosure. We're going to take like some of the animals from the San Diego Zoo and make new enclosures. The goal is to expand the zoo. The whole city will be the zoo. The SeaWorld also, this is a big controversy. SeaWorld is going to have to make a big change. No one will tolerate what they're doing to the whales and dolphins anymore. They're going to have to make a big change. They're going to have to expand SeaWorld into the ocean with a system of piers and docks where they're going to have big outdoor tanks. It's going to be the law, okay? The cetaceans and whales are actually a very big point for exopolitics and extraterrestrials and our treatment of them. That's what Alex Collier said anyway. At least I think that's a cool goal to treat the whales better. You know, I'm Free Willy, bro. I'm saving the whales. So I'm gonna save the whales. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna make all the dreams come true of all the people who wanted to see a like basically the Pokedex. So basically, like, remember Pokemon? You have the Pokedex. Well, what if the Pokedex and new decks in the San Diego Zoo all became one taxonomical system? So you have like all the taxonomy of the world's animals in one Everpedia database, and you can use the challenge deck every time you spot an animal in the wild, like bird watching, to get paid to actually identify different species. Imagine if you got paid cryptocurrency to identify new species of animal, like underwater with drones. But yeah, dude, this is my plan for years on Steem. There's old posts about this on Steem. I even had a crazy plan to put nuclear launch codes on the blockchain so no country could kill each other at once, like a multi-sig wallet.
That's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah, probably a bad idea though.
You're still gonna have people hiding them, huh? But
it's a good idea for a movie or a TV show or like a video game, but in real life, you can't do that because like you can't have people hack the nuclear codes. But then I thought, what if it's already happening? What if it's a game of hot potato? What if Satoshi Nakamoto's keys are really the nuclear launch codes, and Donald Trump is here to stop the World War III from happening?
What if?
Anyway, that's my idea for War Games, the reboot. That is actually my idea for the old 1980s.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's just my idea for reboot. War Games. Do you want to play a game? And it uses EOSIO, and there's like a Block One product placement and shit.
There you go. So what's the next thing that you're building or working on for Telos?
Dude, United States Census on Telos.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No, I just made that up.
Oh, okay.
But it was right here on the Wikipedia page, man. No, but on Telos, the big thing is basically everything to do with Steem engine and Challenge DAC. And basically, I've got Challenge DAC, D-Date, and San Diego Coin wrapped up into one big like ball of development energy. And I've got some of my friends working with me on Node.js scatter, getting that scatter into the WordPress. There's a big division of like who can do things in EOSIO and who can't. And like I'm like down here, like there's only a few people who actually have dApps that can like actually log in with scatter. Like Peeranha is one that's on Telos, and they've got a login for scatter and squirrel. But doing that, just having a website where you can log in with scatter, it's kind of difficult to learn to do. You have to watch the Liquid Apps development course and watch it over and over like I was doing. I got my friend to just kind of learn that. Now he's got the buttons installed on D-Date, and he's getting close to be able to install buttons on challengedac.org, the new site we got set up. We're gonna have Telos take over from EOS on Challenge DAC, I'm pretty sure, because the RAM prices are just too high. But basically, once we can get those scatter buttons into Sand, onto D-Date, and onto the Challenge DAC sites, which are all just WordPress sites, then we can start going forward and having more dApps that are just like mass produced, like dApp in the box. Like just push a button on WordPress and you got a dApp. But what is a dApp? Like, what is a dApp? Just a login on Scatter? Or is a dApp just going to be like Marf Like you just log in and you just got tokens and it's just an airdrop. I mean, yeah, everybody could just have their own airdrop token. It doesn't do anything except maybe it has a casino or something. Like there's like, you know what I mean? Turnkey use cases you could just create. Like, if you wanted to, you could just give someone a token and then just give them use cases. Like, oh yeah, and here's a casino that you can go make, and here's an air grab. Oh, there's a use case. You know what I mean? Like, I basically am trying to do that with 1,000 coin, which isn't Telos, just EOS. It could be Telos, but 1,000 coin is my project to just show what you can do to create a token that is just there to be a token, low supply, 1,000 supply. Most people keep making these tokens that are like billions of supply. It's like, why don't you just make a coin that has such a low supply that we can study this phenomenon? Like it's going, 1,000 coin will be air grabbed, 500 of them will be air grabbed to the I think 20,000 EOS Genesis accounts, or maybe 50,000. I actually am in the process of tweaking that right now. But basically, I'm thinking about like these tokens and just going to make the token that has the low supply, and so we can study economics together as a country, and we can see what supply and demand means. This is like a perfect example for an econ teacher. If you're an econ teacher, you should want to study 1,000 coin. Maybe I'll give out some teach tokens and a few OTC tokens to teachers around the world. But yeah, anyway, dude, yeah, let's talk about Telos Teach too, because we need to get that done, because that's got one guy working on it basically, and teachology.io, and that I want to have a university in VR chat. You ever use VR chat?
Yes, actually, yeah. .io. I'll send you my information after. I've got a little VR company, so yeah, I'm familiar with VR chat for sure. So what? How's that? Oh, I'm on teachology.io. Oh, you okay? Yeah.
Now we got Telos coming to Tipit, and you can send EOS tokens on Tipit on Twitch inside VR chat.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Okay.
You ever watch streamers on Twitch?
No, chat? Not too often.
Well, if you watch them, you'll notice they inside the game, they'll have their phone, and from their view, you'll see like a phone pop up with the chat.
Oh, okay.
In that cool. Chat is the Tipit Telos P token. So
what do you think? What do you think Twitch is going to end up doing with cryptocurrency? You think they're going to?
Okay, dude, Ethereum. Look at their bits thing. I mean, doesn't it look like they're going to use Ethereum? Doesn't it visually look like that bits thing is Ethereum?
I'm not familiar with what that is. What's the bits thing?
Okay, just go on twitch.tv and you'll see the Ethereum logo.
Okay.
It's their little token. It's not crypto based at all. I think it's before Bitcoin even came out. But the fact is, it visually looks like the Ethereum logo. Also, Discord, a Twitch channel just started playing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Discord even has a thing called Nitro, and then they have these little Cathara grid looking rupees, little elongated hexagons. Let's see if I can make it like a little elongated hexagon, little shape. But that shape looks like the Ethereum logo. It's like, I don't think it's going to work with Ethereum. I don't want to support Ethereum. But if Ethereum 2 comes out and it's all scalable and like all these Ethereum army shills come out and start using it again because it's cheap, and Ethereum has just tricked them into doing DPOS like on centralized system, then yeah, I guess that'll be what Discord uses too. Like, I think Discord and Twitch will be approached by Ethereum. I think Ethereum, when it can scale, will have, it sucks, but like they have their Ethereum alliance. They have the fucking army set up. They have those games by Blizzard, like what's that called? What's that game that was on Ethereum that all the people are playing? And people are even sending people on Steam the free cards and stuff. Like you can get like free money just by playing it. It's like one of those Blizzard games with cards. And it's basically like a fancy version of Steam Monsters. But basically, yeah, man, it's like they're probably going to just use Ethereum, and it sucks because Ethereum's just got the people, the army.
Gods Unchained, I think. Is that what it's called?
Gods Unchained.
Yeah, actually, I just remembered I bought a bunch of those cards back in the day in the little card ICO. Those are probably on some random Ethereum wallet somewhere.
Ethereum will be okay when we have Ethereum like directly running on EOS, which I will have soon with Steem Engine. Steem Engine is going to add Ethereum too, so we'll have ETHP, and then we'll have ETHP on EOS. And we already have EETH too. We have like a peg of Ethereum, but you can't use it. But soon, just like EOS BTCp, we'll have EOS ETH, and we'll have an Ethereum token on EOS. Also, with dStore, you could mine Ethereum inside of dStore. Like you can actually run a Steem witness node or an EOS BP inside of dStore.
Really?
You should be able to. I mean, if you can run things, then yeah, you should be able to. So then you would be able to run like Steem blockchain inside of Telos. You could run an EOS BP inside of Telos.
Interesting. That's wild.
So that's what Telos could take over. And like, if you're running another person's blockchain witness inside of your blockchain, you kind of are the winner.
That's true, huh? Where do you see that going? Or, as all these blockchains become almost interoperable and the money is flowing more seamlessly between different coins. I just had the guy from Transledger.
Yeah, dude, that's serious stuff.
Transledger. Yeah, Transledger is basically like making these coins far more interoperable, kind of a inter-blockchain communication, so you can trade between them seamlessly. What do you think happens to the user experience? So with all of us so deep in the weeds and we understand the difference between all the blockchains, does that end up mattering on the user end in the future if all these coins are interchangeable?
Well, it matters depending on how much you want to use that knowledge. Like basically, it's going to be, you'll be rewarded more for how much you understand it. Mm-hmm. So like if you understand how it works, yeah, you'll be the guy doing the arbitrage, using the free apps when they come out and making the extra money. If you don't understand, you'll still get to use it. You'll still get to be a pedestrian on the public access.
Mm-hmm. So you think it almost becomes like, how Wall Street, there's like these people in there that are trading commodities and things like that. And most people, it's just foreign to most people. But then there's people who deeply understand it.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, you can kind of use the markets and be a part of the markets without understanding it and not caring. But they're the people who understand enough to go in and do the arbitrage or make trades. Okay, I could see that. People who are on the cutting edge, adopting apps early, part of the airdrops and things like that.
As soon as one app comes out for Steem, EOS, or Telos that is like the killer app, and that should be be voice, then we will see people just get into it and like an Ethereum type system. Ethereum took a few years to get that adoption, and then it went up to like $1,000. Now Ethereum's like a tenth of the EOS supply, but EOS is 10 times Ethereum's value. I mean, just the fact that you can do so many more transactions, it's like going to be a big deal. I know EOS has a problem with its transactions, but you get free transactions on blocks.io. Also, Telos has the free transactions, and so does Steem. So yeah, it's almost like EOS has been artificially held back by itself, it seems. It's weird. I feel like Steem and EOS are pushed down by themselves. I don't think it's on purpose, but it's really good for development because it allows us to develop. When Steem went too high, too fast, nobody could build with it. Same with EOS. $20 EOS, as soon when mainnet's not even out, is no good for any developer because you can't do anything with it. But when EOS is down cheap like it has been recently, we could actually use it for things. Of course, then Telos comes out and makes it so much cheaper, literally a factor of 10 for creating a token. Like creating a token on EOS, like 30 EOS. On Telos, it was like 24 Telos. So it's like the difference between like $100 and $2. So, it's like a lot cheaper to work on Telos. And we're at this point where we can actually send the transactions for like a Lightning Network, like Bitcoin. Like it sucks because I'm already on the EOS BTCp. I got the EOS version of Bitcoin peg, but still it's hard to give people free EOS accounts. I have to use things like Wombat Wallet, which is great, but it's a multi-sig wallet and you have to buy your key with Wombat. But you do get a free wallet immediately with Google. With Telos, it's not marketed as well, but it's got that free account. Steem, it's got, I have to pay for those accounts, so it's not free yet, but I got 2,000 of them. I can give them out, but it's like limited. Steem will soon have free accounts through this thing called light wallets, where you get to hold Steem and SBD. You don't get to make posts. You have to like buy your wallet, like kind of like the Wombat thing. So anyway, Telos has got the free accounts. Telos has got the expandability where you can scale up. I just have to get the marketing up. We have to, and you can't rush it. You have to just, like with the Telos marketing, you just have to like slowly do it over time. Trading, so important. I mean, on paper, I made $20,000 yesterday. with
Dang.
with Sesacash, Richcoin, and Squirrel. Let me just pop that up right here. And I can't really cash it out all at once right now, but I can cash out a lot of the Squirrel. I can cash some of the Richcoin out. But yeah, I can cash out some of the Sesacash, but I can't cash out that 20 grand. But it does show up. And that was because Scatter showed the prices. It's not like I made that money. I had that money. It's just that the Scatter actually showed the prices yesterday. So all of a sudden my wallet just pops up with $20,000 extra.
And so what do you mean? You're trading, you're doing arbitrage, or you're just or you have supply of tokens and the token supply showed up?
Yeah, it's just I had some, and then basically the prices weren't being shown on Scatter. But then the prices just showed up, and all of a sudden an extra, my account went from like 5 grand to 25 grand. It was crazy. Like to my mind, I looked and see, look, it's like, I just did it again. But yeah, it's crazy because it'll just show these assets like Sesacash here. Let's see. It's like my top one now, $8,900 worth of Sesacash. And I couldn't cash that out yet.
Yeah.
But if I market it more and show people that Sesacash is a great product and it's going to be like the PayPal of Nigeria and Ghana, then yeah, I could actually see myself cashing out a lot more than this, because I bought that early on and risked a lot of my own telos to get these orders. And I'm the market maker now. And the same thing with the Richcoin. The Richcoin thing is really interesting because that's a telos token that does transaction mining. You send 0.001 rich tokens to Richcoin coin, and then it does something back and forth. You can use Squirrel token and pay for those transactions. So anyway, Rich token was making up the majority of Telos transactions, and it had Telos number 2 on Blocktivity. But because Blocktivity stopped accepting the Richcoin transactions, it dropped. Oh, Telos is back. Telos is back to number 2.
Oh yeah. So you're saying that you're contributing a lot of that volume to Telos being there at number 2?
Okay, so what happened was
contributing it.
Oh, it definitely is. You can see it right here. I'll go on to if you just go to blocks, if you go to telos.blocks.io.
And Richcoin does what? Tell me how that works.
It's like the Aidos of Telos.
Okay. And so talk about how that works.
I really wish I could, but it's a mystery.
But it sends transactions back and forth and then mines you Richcoin by the transactions going back and forth. Is that what you're saying?
I think it's some sort of Chinese thing. I don't speak Chinese, so I need to make contact with the Richcoin developers. And
Okay.
I've asked Nudex to put me in contact with them. I've also tried to I've created a few new logos for them to use. And basically it's like Aidos for Telos, but Telos is not experiencing insane CPU issues because of it. So I think it's a perfect excuse to show, it's a perfect way to show how good Telos is. Like, hey, look, we got, we can actually handle transaction mining. Okay, it's not showing up right here, but usually the transactions on Telos, on blocks.io, will just be all Richcoin mining. Okay, here we go. Now they're coming in. But look, there's a button right there for pause transactions. It's like I can pause the entire
So it
blockchain.
stops going so fast.
So imagine if that was like a BP button for like I can pause the whole blockchain.
Just pause.
Just turn off the world economy today. I don't like it. Yeah, but dude, right here you can see it all. Let's see, Richcoin there. See that? All Richcoin. All Richcoin transactions. Rich. So it's like these transactions are from this one account to Richcoin coin quantity 0.0001 rich. So you send that much to Richcoin coin, and then it sends you the coins back. I don't know how it really works. I don't. I have to be honest. I don't understand what's really going on, but I think it's some sort of transaction miner. But we have a gray list ability. So because of Telos Miami, they were able to shut this off. So if someone wants to claim that our transactions are not legit here, Blocktivity.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to show them. We just have to show them that we do have the power to turn it off. So it's like, okay, the only reason EOS has 51 million transactions is because of Aidos, I think, right? Isn't the only reason EOS has so many transactions because of the transaction
Talk
mining?
about Aidos and transaction mining a little bit.
Okay, well, I'm going to go
That
on
is
blocks. I'm
specifically.
going to go look at the transactions right now. I'm going to go on blocks.io/#transactions. And let me see. I'm going to just get a sample of what the transactions look like.
Okay.
So it's all Aidos.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all Aidos right here. Aidos coin quantity. So just like I thought, I mean, this is not a sampling. It's not like a percentage.
Yeah.
I don't have actual stats, but
Mhm.
I mean, this is just first page of transactions right now because you can just see them coming in, and they're all Aidos mining. So we can kind of guess that the only reason EOS has 60 million transactions a day is because of Aidos mining. And I am part of the camp that says that's great because in my mind, if like you don't want to build Chinese ghost cities, but you do want to keep the economy warm for real humans. So like if you can, you should keep your economy going, and even if there's nobody using it. Like if you could build a bunch of homes in the desert and then keep them occupied with like a maid coming in to just look after them once in a while, just keep them warm. It's better than not having those homes there at all because there's a chance you might get people to come and buy those homes and then you got homes. If you have the ability to grow your economy, you should do it, even if it's a ghost economy. But don't be like the Chinese and build the ghost cities because that's like you go too far with it,
Yeah, for sure. So
maybe those ghost cities will be occupied one day. Maybe they'll be like a great resource one day. I mean,
do you know how Aidos works? Or what's
it's
behind
like,
the curtain at Aidos?
okay, so Aidos is crazy because they have this thing called the Yaz network where it's like their own Nudex where you'll be able to like stake it and then like get a transaction fee from the exchange fee.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, get like a passive income from the exchange fee. They're really mixing it up. And then you got the Sovdex where it's like it burns it and it's like deflationary. But basically, Aidos is just a system where you use your CPU that you're not using. So like if you have a bunch of CPU on your EOS account, you can make Aidos tokens off of it by sending 0.001 EOS to Aidos 1 coin, and then it sends it back. So you just send it off, and I think it automatically does it for you. I think there's a way. I think they have a script. Yeah, that's right. You have to run your own script. I'm pretty sure that's how Richcoin works too. So like, actually, Rich might not need the script. Basically, I'm pretty sure with Aidos, when you go on the Aidos Nudex and you go on the website, it'll tell you how to do it. It'll give you a little script, and you can run a little script. And for example, this guy, ASLRGNG, he's sending the token to Aidos 1 coin, and then he's getting back free Aidos. So like you send your EOS to the account, and then it sends you back your EOS, and then you get a little free bit of Aidos token. And then you could sell that for EOS. And Aidos was getting really high on Nudex. So it's like this whole system. You have to look at it as like a whole system. Very crazy stuff because it's like fractals built on top of fractals. So it's just a way to make money off your CPU because in EOS you have extra CPU power. And if you're not using your transactions, you can actually make money off it. And what that did was it congested EOS up to its normal, like our actual market price of transactions. Like everyone is experiencing extra 200 normal times transactions. Like everyone is experiencing all this free space.
Yeah.
Like imagine you had a building and you had access to all the rooms. Like you were living in a hotel and you had access to like 5 floors for yourself. But then like reality kicks in and people have to start coming in and taking those floors from you, and people start moving in and you realize, oh, I only had 1 room in this whole building,
Yeah, it's bringing it more to what you think the actual market rate should be, huh?
Yeah, and then that's basically like $1 per transaction, not $1, but really high. It's so expensive to use EOS, or it was. And I don't even know right now because I don't pay for transactions on EOS. I use Wombat or Blocks.io, or I'll use my my Rex. So I don't have to like pay anymore. I just staked some EOS, bought a year's worth of Rex, and I was good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, what do you think? Is Telos doing some things you think that deal with those transaction prices?
So Rich Coin is like not hurting like Telos,
transaction
and
prices.
it's like, yeah, it's like okay, so they can gray list. So EOS couldn't get their BPs together fast enough to like make changes.
Mm-hmm.
Telos can actually do that. It's still small enough to where you can actually get the guys in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see Telos like getting to the point where it's like EOS, where it's so big and people are speaking like different languages and you can't even like coordinate, you know?
Isn't that kind of the point of those EOSIO different chains of EOSIO is they're supposed to have some sort of target to what they're working on, and it seems like Telos is governance and interacting with enterprise companies, and that's where it's at right now. So
But Telos is the leader in governance. Nobody knows what governance means, though.
yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing. People are talking about in the community channel, like let's get the word out about governance, or let's make governance cool. I don't know that I
Let's
don't know.
make government cool, guys.
Yeah,
Schoolhouse rock.
Governance. Yeah, and I don't know
I'm
that
just
that's
a
necessarily
bill.
possible. Yeah. So what's the approach there? Is there a way to get the word out about what Telos is doing with governance, or does it just still going to be focused on how do real world people actually use this stuff?
Repeat that question.
Can we make governance cool, or do we have to just put some fancy app out that everyone just adopts?
Oh, no, dude, you're gonna okay. Remember the H.G. Wells time travel?
Yeah,
the humans bifurcate into like two species.
yeah, for sure.
They're gonna have the ruling class and then the plebs. And
Okay.
there's always gonna be people out there who are interested in power, aka governance.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it'll maintain. It'll be like a new version of kind of what we have right now. Those people who want to get into politics and become politicians, and
but then you'll have like the Snoop Dogs and the celebrities who may not know about governance, but their power in the community grants them that ability to still make the decisions. Like, even if you know nothing about civics, your social media score will still grant you that power to have a voice in your local community because you'll be that gatekeeper.
Yeah, that's an interesting phenomenon you see for sure. I mean, even just people giving their acceptance speeches, all of a sudden they have some political sway. That is a phenomenon for sure. What do you think about voice? You mentioned it a little bit earlier. It's only about 9 days out now.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? What's the inside scoop?
In World War II, they had people getting assembling their own tools on the battlefield. People would like get an airplane, assemble the wings on the battlefield. I think voice is going to be given to us like an assemble your own DApp. I think we're going to be given a lot of tools by Block One. I don't know how user friendly the voice app experience will be at first. I think it'll be great if it's just for developers and they just start giving us the tools, and then maybe the beta release will be just like a steemit.com type of situation. Mm-hmm. And then the voice chain will be like Steem.
You see voice being its own chain, like them going.
They said it would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going on to some sort of beta, like a test net first, it sounds like. So you think they're going to
they said they had one.
Yeah,
Dan Larimer said they had a test net and they had all the Steem content inside of the voice test net.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea.
He said that on the Telegram.
Okay. So you think that it's going to launch a platform similar to Steem, but they're going to mainly give a bunch of tools for people to plug into their own websites or their own social media, their comment sections and things like that?
Hopefully. That's something that on Steem, it was called Finally Comments.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a discuss type app.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Pretty sure voice.com is going to be like steemit.com. What else could it be? I predicted that back when EOS came out. People were asking, what the hell is the wallet going to look like? And I told them, it's going to look like Vessel. It's going to look like Vessel. Jesta, he made Vessel wallet with Steem. And it is exactly what Greymass turned into. It's like, it's not a fork because they had to start over, but still, it's exactly what Steem is. So voice is just going to be an EOSIO chain, like links. It's going to be like the links chirp thing. It's going to be like, you Have you used Chirp? Have you used the Links chain?
I've used Links. Yeah, I haven't used Chirp.
Well, it's like, dude, you log in with a phone number and you get an EOSIO wallet. It's very nice, very advanced. The only
Okay, that's what Chirp
the only
is.
people who have that is like Challenge Deck. The only app that I've seen where you can put a phone number in and actually get an instant account. But Challenge is almost like at the point where they're going to have their own chain because their accounts are like EOSIO wallets within EOSIO. Like they have an account that makes accounts inside of EOS. So the Challenge U account makes accounts. Voice could have something similar because like with Challenge, you have these CHL tokens that you can't sell unless you gateway them back to the real CHL. There's 2 CHL tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think with voice, you'll have something similar where you'll have a voice that you can sell and you'll have the voice that's in the app that you can't sell. They might just make you sell the voice for $1 for a stable coin or for EOS. Dude, who knows? Like, I think they're doing a really good job of keeping a secret.
Yeah.
But I figured out things I'm going to do. It doesn't matter what voice is going to do. I'm going to make my own EOS, Steem, Telos, cross-chain social media with Telos Peak. And I have the room set up. I won't talk about it too much, but it's a private room between the Steem Peak people, some Telos BPs, and Jock from EOS Discussions. And we're going to have basically, who knows what will happen. I'm hoping to have login method, Telos, scatter in steampeak.com. I already bought the website, telospeak.org, like Telos Peak because there's Steem Peak. So I thought, okay, Telos Peak. And that just spells Telos Speak. So it's kind of like EOS voice, but we have Telos Speak. And it'll allow every Steem account to have a free Telos wallet. Every, this is the other part. The wallets will be there. We'll have the wallet method. The login for posting, that's still up in the air. But I'd like to have dual blockchain solution where you post onto Steem and then it posts onto Telos through discussion app. This Telos discussion app has to come out first, though. But you could also have it like DTube, where you have the dual login, where you have a login to Steem, login to the DTube chain.
Oh, yeah.
But basically, I'm going to have it to where they have the login method for OAuth on Steem Peak. It has Google, Facebook login. You can use that. And I showed that to Jesse. And Jesse, I think, was impressed at that because he's also working on something similar for, already has it for the app.telos.net. So both of them have Google OAuth login, but app.telos.net lets you log in with a phone number. Just like I was saying, Links has. Like telos.net lets you, or app.telos.net lets you use SMS to get your Telos account. And then you can just use that to log in to Coolx wallet or whatever, and or to Squirrel or to Scatter. And then Challenge DAC, they have a system where you just type in your phone number and you get an account that you can use EOS and everything. It's not an EOS account, but it's an account that you can use EOS tokens for. It's a very interesting, unique system. Then you got Chirp inside of Links. They let you log in with a phone number. That phone number lets you just log in and you get a Links wallet. And that's pretty crazy because I was literally posting on Chirp using links that someone sent me, because you have to have links to post. It's kind of, but still, I was doing that within minutes. Like I logged in with the phone number, didn't have to have an EOS wallet or anything, and was posting on the EOSIO chain. So voice has got a lot of there's a lot of, I see how it could happen. Like log in with phone number, get your wallet, and then basically maybe you'll be able to post, and before you can earn the voice tokens, you'll have to do the face scan. I mean, you've seen the blueprints, right? Where you'll have you face scan yourself, then someone else has to approve your face picture, and maybe like 3 of those, and then you get your verification every 2 weeks or something, and you have to get verified by 3 other people in your network, or 2 or whatever, every few weeks or something like that.
Okay, that's what it is. So it's social accountability, basically. Interesting.
Well, that's the universal ID system. You'll have to figure out who's who by starting with. I think they'll have to start with like Dan Larimer and Brendan Bloomer as like the top of the chain, and then they will know, oh, that guy is who he says he is. You know.
What's the punishment for saying someone who, like, for falsely identifying someone?
Well, there won't be a chance to punish someone for that, because you won't be able to do that. It'll just be like, it's going to be yes or no. if you make a mistake and okay, hold on, let me think. I'm sure they'll have some governance to ban accounts. I don't think you'll have to though. I think it's just going to be self-correcting.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a really interesting one. It's once they start putting verified unique identities on the blockchain and bringing that into social media, that's a huge game changer. I don't know how that's going to. I mean, I can't. I'm trying to imagine how that's going to affect the conversation.
Well, the check marks on Twitter, you'll have a little check mark just like on Twitter.
Yeah, and the check marks on Twitter, I guess are a decent way to do it, but there's some flaws in that, I guess, because it's kind of like there's gatekeepers to who's an accepted voice and who's not. So it's that model, but eliminates some sort of gatekeeper to have your blue check. Right?
Oh yeah, you got to be a blue chip to get that blue chip.
Yeah, that's right.
No, but dude, that gatekeeper stuff, yeah, that's it. Yeah, Donald Trump will tell you who verifies on what. Dude, if Trump joined Voice, think about it. Everyone's talking. I was always on Steem telling people, oh, Trump could join Steem because he'd get banned on Twitter. And then I looked it up. He got banned on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, for like a few minutes. And then Twitter fired the rogue employees. But like some rogue employees banned him for political reasons. Like, some SJWs were like, they like banned his account. And then Twitter found out like, no, they fired those people. But still, like it happened. It already happened. Like he already got banned. It was reversed. But imagine if like that was like a blockchain already and like it was undo. Imagine if someone actually banned his account and it was like permanent. Like that's why they have to have decentralized systems, and why Trump would probably be very easy to convince to move over, whether you like him or not. I mean, you could switch over to any political, not Yang, fucking Biden. Imagine all these political operatives going on to Voice to fight Zuckerberg. I mean, they all hate Zuckerberg. That's the one thing they all unite. I've noticed, like, the Republicans and Democrats are all backing, like, they all hate the Facebook.
Why do you think that is?
Because he's an easy target, because he's like, the whale in the room that they can just hate on. Also, because he was funded with government Cohen, QTEL money and stuff. So he's their Zuckerberg. He's supposed to do what they say.
Mm-hmm. So you think that, and he must be some sort of, and these other social media platforms too, or big companies like Amazon, must be a threat to kind of the seat of government power. It seems like, they're almost more getting as powerful as government in some places,
but they are, I see them as like, they're part of the same system. It's all the CIA. Like they all just work for the same team. And like, they know who the boss is. And like, they want to have a cryptocracy, or like the AI gives the orders. It's the only thing that's fair. And the boomers definitely think that though, what you just said, like how it's like a threat, how like when Google didn't show up for their meeting, remember that? There's like supposed to be a big meeting about this whole, Facebook thing, and only the Facebook people showed up, and like Google didn't show up. I remember on CNBC, they showed like a silhouette of the Google CEO, what's his name? But they showed like a black silhouette, like he didn't show up, like he's in the shadows. And like, they're like, yeah, he thinks he's too powerful for us, and he thinks he's too good for us, and he's not showing up to Capitol Hill for the hearing. And it's just really funny because like, it's just all theater. Like at the end of the day, they just don't want people too scared that the FANG companies are in complete control of everything, like the Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, at least on the West Coast. Like they really are. It's really like they're in control of the West Coast, and they have like trillions of dollars. The FANG companies almost have more budget than the U.S. government at this point, right? Because like maybe not budget. Their market cap is as high as like the U.S. government's like budget, like $1 trillion a year or whatever. Like if you can make $1 trillion a year and spend that, you have the power of like the United States government. Basically, I see systems like Uber. I see the public sector got too big, too fast, and they have to find new jobs for all these public sector employees. And like Elizabeth Warren wants to like give people jobs and like some sort of new green New Deal thing, and like transition them over from like auto industry to like solar panels. There's all these things, but at the end of the day, it's software. We got to get people developing software, and for things like Telos, for EOSIO. I'd come up with jobs for EOSIO all day long. I'd come up with like so many jobs for people, like skills that you're supposed to learn. Like there's so many new skills coming out, and there's so many new businesses that could like happen EOSIO Block 1 alone could fund, think about this, $1 billion in their fund for a VC, EOSC. That's enough for 20,000 projects to get a $50,000 grant. Like their $50,000 grants they're giving out, that's enough for 20,000 projects. That's so many projects. There's not even that many tokens on EOS. Like every token could get some funding. That's like, this is an idea machine. This is like this. That should excite everybody. They really just have to find a way to not attract the scammers, though. That's the big problem, because like Block 1 can get hustled real fast, like they did with those Platin guys. Dude, remember the Platin, the geolocation thing we were talking about? I talked to Kent and Chase on the phone about that, and how they got so much money from Block 1, and they just, the burn rate was too high, and they just kind of hustled Block 1, because where's all the money now? And why did they stop? It's like, when you're doing stuff like software stuff for blockchain, in my mind, you gotta just be in it. You gotta do it like if you love it. You gotta do it because you love it, and you gotta just like be the underdog, because you don't need to spend a lot of this money that they're spending on a lot of these blockchain projects, because it's just software and it's just coding and it's just people sitting on a computer. And yeah, you need to hire some expensive people at the end of the day to do certain things, but like at startup level, any high schooler can do a lot of this stuff, and people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that all their skills they learned in their whole life are equal to what a high school Zoomer can do in an afternoon. But it's true, and we have to compete, and we should want our children to be more skilled than us. We should want the next generation to have these skills even easier than we had them. A lot of people don't want to hear that, though, that like any kid could do a lot of this stuff. But,
is that what you tell a high
smart.
schooler? Was that what you tell a high schooler, or kids coming out of high school today start learning how to code?
Oh, dude. Well, learn to code. You don't have to learn to code. Just learn about the code. If you know, like, if you ever typed in a URL, you know how to code. I mean, we need to bring down the notch of like these skills of what it really means. Like, a lot of these guys just want to like act like they know how to do something that you can't learn to do unless you go to school as much as I did. A lot of these people, they don't want to admit that a lot of these skills you could learn in a video real fast, and a lot of kids should be learning this stuff faster than previously was able to. I mean, you could, okay, if you're coming out of high school and you want to learn blockchain and you want to learn to make money with crypto, you should do whatever you're best at. And like, you could either become a project manager, you could become like a skilled coder, you could become a project promoter, you could become a networker that's really good at like, using LinkedIn. I mean, some people think you have to do it all at once, but there's really like small skill sets that you can be really good at. And just to remember, it's like $1 billion fund that Block 1 has, and like you just have to use EOSIO and apply for their $50,000 grant program. Like, if I had access to like a high school class, I could probably get like in one semester, I could probably get like multiple successful proposals written and sent out to Block 1. I mean, like, you just have to get some minds in the room, show them the world through Plato's Cave, like show them YouTube, show them all the exciting stuff that's happening on YouTube and all the cool channels. And you can get some kids interested in just making their own channel. I mean, like, all you got to do is go on Discord, go on Telegram, start your project, get your token out there, create some volume, and go on Twitter and say, here I am, I got the skills. People on Block 1 are listening, people at Twitter and Tron are even listening. There's more than just EOS too. There's all these other like freaking like Stellar, and like people are buying crypto, but why not just go directly to the faucets? So anyway, I'm going off topic here, but like, the faucet will replace the printing press. The Federal Reserve will be replaced with the blockchain faucet. And you will have Social Security with the Telos governance system. Marshall Islands is starting this trend with their 4% interest every year with the SOV, not to be confused with the EOS version, but the Marshall Islands has the SOV.Foundation. And when I saw that, like last week, I saw their new website and I thought, well, I need to make a little version of this for my own, for SAND, because the SAND token is about 3% inflation. But this SOV is a system for the Marshall Islands. It uses EOSIO. It's like the first legal EOSIO currency. 40,000 people is a reasonable number of people to manage. That's how many people are on an island.
And so what are they doing with SOV?
So it's their own. It's not SOV on EOS. It's their own.
It's their own side chain on
No,
EOSIO?
no, it's an EOS. It's going to be a mainnet EOSIO chain.
Okay.
And it's going to be so look, there's around 50,000 people, and they're going to be issued this token like helicopter Ben Bernanke style. They're going to be giving out this token directly to the people.
And then having them use it as a local currency or as a currency on their island?
It's going to be their official national currency.
Oh, no kidding. Okay. Wow.
The IMF, World Bank has already suggested they don't do this.
That sounds interesting. I like when
them against it.
They warned them against it. So what are they going to do when they launch it?
Well, no, nothing. It's just that news was good. That news was really cool to hear that the IMF couldn't do shit. I mean, they can't tell them what to do. They're their own sovereign island. This is like a step in showing the world that they're not a slave colony. If they're not allowed to do this, then they are a slave colony. If they are allowed to do this, they are sovereign people. This is like a test.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm asking. I'm wondering where the who's going to come in and try to slow it down.
We're beyond. Like the Illuminati has figured out. We got the fourth industrial revolution, bro. Fourth industrial revolution. We got Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. 2020, roaring 20s, bro.
Okay.
We want a repeat of the 90s. I'm not kidding. We want $2 trillion in stock market just this year. You know that the Nasdaq went to 6 trillion, right?
That's wild.
6 trillion. Bitcoin crypto barely hit 1. It was like 800. Remember?
Yeah.
It was like 800 billion.
800 billion.
Our target is 6 trillion. So anyway, the SOV is going to be SOV's digital currency. Every transaction is stored on the SOV blockchain. Blah blah blah. 24 million SOV will be created. 40% will be available to sale around the world. I mean, these numbers and percentages are all just tweaked. It's just make shit up, but there's probably a good reason why they chose 40%. But each year, the supply of SOV will increase by 4%. The rate has been chosen to promote long-term sustainability, algorithmically fix the SOV blockchain, so it can't be manipulated. Basically, what can be, it'll be immutable. SOV that's immutable, the EOS token, it's immutable because you need you need 21 BPs to actually make a change, and that you'd never get 21 BPs to help you change the max supply of a token that was supposed to be 21 million, like SOV, whatever, it's 1 billion, it goes down to 21 million over a few years. But anyway, you can also make your token immutable by making it keyless, like a POW, which is the proof of work coin on EOS, which is like a 21 million Bitcoin style coin, which I like. I like that one because it's kind of like the 1000 coin. But anyway, the SOV with 24 million initial supply, 40% on the market for sale. And then I registered for this pre-sale of this, let's see, what's it called? It's called the TRMI, the what's it called? The time release monetary issuance.
Okay.
So they're going to ensure a stable launch. 9.6 million SOV will be sold gradually as part of a time release monetary issuance. TRMI will begin and will last for 18 months. So this is like these guys. Okay, so this is like an island nation has a startup crew of these really smart, Marshallese guys who are just into blockchain. Like, we're going to change our country's fate. They're going to allow everyone in the world to invest in their country.
Wow.
I have signed up to invest in their island. Think about that. I've already signed up to give this island money. I mean, just think about that. Like, they've tricked me into giving them money. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Not tricked, but it's like this whole front end of like, what is the TRMI? Get into the thing and the SOV, their little logo.
I'm pre-registered now too.
Yeah, dude, this little logo looks beautiful too because it's like got the it's got like a Euro type thing.
That is cool.
But yeah, think about like so I was on the with blockchain Zach, who's the other Zach, on everything he asked. He was talking about this, and because I remember I learned about this from him on his show, because he was telling everybody, make sure you know the difference between the two SOVs, because there's two. There's the SOV that's immutable on EOS, it's deflationary. There's the Marshall Islands SOV. solve.foundation. So anyway, he showed me the Solve Telegram group, and I went on there, and the guy was not really sure. The main Solve guy was not really sure if it was going to be EOS or not. At least he's telling us that. And I just let him have it. I was like, dude, it has to be EOSIO. It doesn't work if it's not EOSIO. It's the only chain that'll work. And he was like, okay, thank you. I'll take that consideration. You know, and blockchain Zach, he was in there being real polite. And I also want to just be like, no, it has to be EOS. But anyway, a few months go by, and the article comes out where it's like, yep, it's going to be EOSIO. So, you know, I'm glad that I hopefully can say that I had a part in pressuring them to go EOSIO, because legally maybe the other people weren't allowed to like push for it, but you know, I can do whatever I want as a private person. So, you know, Block One is going to, I think, really get behind this. This is an EOSIO chain for a national currency test net for the country, for the whole country. Remember, it's territory of the United States, right? So it's like middle ground, right? Puerto Rico will then be next, and then Hawaii, and then who knows, maybe
Hawaii.
San Diego's public bank will have this style system. That's why I created a nice little thing for a San Diego coin to show its 4% inflation a year. Let's see, where's that picture? Here we go. I got the actual graph here that shows. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so you can see the.
Oh yeah, looks good. The 3% inflation.
Yep, for about 75 years or so, and then about 300 tokens a day given out. And with advertising on steamsandiego.com or sandiegocoin.org, I can actually purchase back those 300 sand every day easily with the ads. So as long as I have a certain amount of people using the site. So I could have this on autopilot. I don't have to be there. People can soon earn the sand token just by staking it. I'm going to turn on a 100,000 sand pool. That will allow people to earn EOS and Telos sand just by staking it on the Scott bot system. But yeah, I think I can use this Steem-based stuff to run a national economy. I mean, using EOSIO smart contracts like Telos, I think we can do this because everybody is looking at Block One and governments, and we got this Solve island. It can be like a test net so that we can learn how it works. There's only 40,000 people on the island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fantastic.
You can keep track of them in a Telegram group, in one Telegram group.
That's true.
The whole country.
Yeah, that's amazing. Cool, man. Well, let's get to a kind of a final topic. What other things that are big time, or you want to keep talking about this one a little bit more? You got another couple big thoughts to get out.
Well, EOS locally, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna ask Sand to get on there and challenge DAC. EOS locally. Have you used that?
No.
They're yeah, it's like Bitcoin local. It's like local Bitcoin, but for EOS, and they've got Wax. They got Wax and they got USDT, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, sorry, EOSDT. Equilibrium. Oh, I'm gonna get Equilibrium onto Steem Engine, so we'll have EOSDTP. So we'll have a stable coin. I'm also trying to get Tether. I think I'll probably get it on there soon too. We'll get EOS USDT. We'll get EOS Tether onto Steem Engine. So any Steem account will be able to have that. Also, Telos Sesacash. I talked about that, right? The Sesacash.
Yeah, a little bit. Talk about it more.
Well, the Sesacash on Telos, we're gonna have Sesacash cards for Africans in Nigeria and Ghana. They'll have a little debit card. Already, they're gonna have mobile money, which has already been proven through Sesa. Basically, with mobile money in Africa, you just like have your smartphone and you send money through SMS or smartphone, and then you get cash. Like they have these kiosks on the streets, and you can like exchange SMS money for paper money. They're already beyond ATM. They never really had a national network of ATMs to have to convert. They leapfrogged over that. So with Sesacash, we already worked it out on Steemit with yensesa.com, which is the old version. Now it's Telos based. Telos, Good Blocks, Douglas Horn, he's giving them a good grant from Good Blocks, and they've gotten some Telos, and they're getting funded through the worker proposal system. And I started investing in YNT, and my account went up like $8,000 today. Well, it showed the money finally. I didn't know I had that much, but the volume is starting to generate. So people in Africa will be able to buy and sell Sesacash YNT token for Telos using Teleconda, using the new Conda coin, which will be given to people like the Task. We also have Telos Task and the Nut token, another system for giving out money for liking or making a post. It's like microtasking. We're going to be doing a big airdrop. People will be able to get this Conda token and get Telos tokens, sell them, and then use that to buy Sesacash. Basically, they're going to be giving out a lot of Telos to people in Africa. They're then going to use that Telos inside of the Sesacash site. It's like a PayPal system. I've actually used it to send Nigerian money to Nigerians. They finally won, man. They finally scammed me. I'm just kidding. No, but I actually told them to make sure to make some memes about the Nigerian prince stuff, because it's like we're like actually teaching Nigerians how to go legit, man. Getting rid of the bad stereotypes.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's interesting how Africa can leapfrog technologies like that. And I didn't know that about Sesacash. That's great. I was just talking to some of the guys. Yeah, I was just talking to some of the guys a couple episodes ago about local currencies in Kenya and giving. They're out there with the Red Cross giving local currencies to villages and then having them interact with each other. So, and it's working really well. It's actually creating a lot more of a market there where people are doing more, because they have some sort of accounting system. And so, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how this works out with SOV or SOV, I guess they should call that one. I think it's short for sovereignty or sovereign.
Yeah, the sovereign token. Maybe we should just call it the sovereign token.
Yeah.
I just call it the Marshall Islands SOV.
Yeah, Marshall Islands. That's so cool, man. That's a fantastic project. So, you hit on Peeranha earlier too.
Peeranha, yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Okay, so Peeranha is like Stack Exchange on Telos. If you want to make some free Telos, I highly suggest you go and make posts on Peeranha, because I'm going to be one of the people to buy that Peer token when it comes out on Nudex. I'm definitely going to pump the hell out of that thing. I'm going to put so much Telos behind Peer token. The idea behind Peeranha is you buy some Peer token. Then you can get a bunch of people to sprinkle into the fish tank, and people go and they make questions and answers about your subject. So let's say I need to get people to talk about Sand token. Or let's say I need to get people to talk about Telos in a certain area. Or let's say I want to get people to talk about the sovereign island coin. I make a question on Peeranha, and I put a bunch of Peer tokens behind it, and then people go and make questions and answers. The point is to get people to discuss the topic, and then you can actually pay for Peer tokens to do it. That's the tokenomics. Obviously, you can just go on there and get paid Peer tokens for making questions and answers. Unlike Steem, there's no reward pool that's like inflation based. It is inflation based, but it's going to be well, I can't say that. It's going to have a very specific set amount of Peer emitted every week or something. It's on the website. It's not like Steem. It's not like a reward pool. It's got a very unique new system. It's really nice. The Peer token's got a really cool way to use Telos in a really light way. You log in with Squirrel Wallet and you can just make a post, and the post doesn't show up in the memo. It's just a few numbers, and all the data is just posted on Peeranha.io, and some of the stuff's in the blockchain, but just enough. So it's real lightweight. It's like
Cool.
It's like Stack Exchange.
Yeah, man, there's a lot going on. All right, we've been going about 2 hours, and it's time for final thoughts. What's your final thought as we close the show down?
Well, just remember we got my phone data token. I'm still just waiting on the smart contract deployment, and McSam will be working on that. We got POS on EOS, which I'm still promoting for. And if people want to earn some POS, there's stuff on my Twitter on twitter.com/axacrypto. We got teleconda.com. That's going to be important soon because the Conda token will list on Nudex, and that's another African project. We got the Sesacash, which Teleconda is promoting for. Sesacash, just imagine it like PayPal or like Coinbase for Africa. And remember, we got InfoWars DApp. Oh, I got a new website, CryptoWars.me, okay? CryptoWars.me. Okay. So I have a Scott bot set up for InfoWars, you earn InfoWars tokens.
Wow.
And it's an InfoWars DAC. Yeah, InfoWarsDAP.com and CryptoWars.me. Also, we have a site called ChatCrypto.me. So I got the website ChatCrypto.me, and we're gonna have that right now. It just goes to one of my telegrams, like the Steem one. But we're gonna have a site that has all my telegrams, and it's gonna show all the telegrams and discords and how much crypto has been given out in each one, like the
Oh,
little,
that's cool.
little logos on each one. Nice, because I already have myfreecrypto.org, which is another site where you sign up and you get airdrops, usually just some shit coins from Steem or EOS or Telos. But I have so many of these shit coins that people say I can actually give away these altcoins for free, like a lot to a lot of people. Because some of them I have like billions of them, so you can just give out a small amount to everybody every day. And I've done the math, so it's a really nice way to just get free money. It might only be pennies a day, but people do like it. Also, we got Weed Cash that's coming to Telos soon. It will, because we need to give out the free accounts. And we got the challengedac.org. That also is going to be on Telos soon. We just have to deploy the CHL token. We almost just deployed CHLP, the peg, on Telos, but I want to get the real CHL. And then we got the Steem Engine. That's going to have a new Steem Engine. It has a new site, next.steamengine.com. And also Steem Engine's got some new Telos tokens on it. So Conda is already out, and so is D-Date. So you can withdraw your Telos tokens that are already on Steem Engine, like D-Date and Teleconda. You can withdraw those. Soon it'll be in the drop-down menu, but you actually can get your D-Date and your Conda tokens. D-Date should have a new bot. In the next few months, we will have but we'll have a nice little bot. It's a copy of something called Hot or Bot. And this bot literally just has a yes or no function. It's going to be slow at first because there's not that many people, but we do have plans for like a sentiment token system where you'll see a social network of who's dated who and how many their score, their dating score. It's just going to be the same thing we're going to use for Telos profiles in Squirrel Wallet for sentiment tokens. I'm just going to try to adapt it as much as I can. But there's some other cool stuff with D-Day. It all has to do with the bots, but I have some cool stuff with the bots with D-Day. But anyway, also the Sand token. I'm just going down my Discord list here. Sand token and has got some the San Diego banks. Remember to look that up. It's Public Bank SD. Go on their Twitter and you'll find me there sending sand to the mayor. And also Cash App. Get the cash. Go to cashappcard.org if you need a Cash App card. That's my referral link. You both get $5. Cash App card. Cashappcard.org. It's just a cash.app link with my ref code. But basically, you can buy Bitcoin in that Cash App card. And that's Jack Dorsey. That's Twitter's company. My plan is to get you in Sesacash to become like the Cash App distributor for Nigeria, because Jack Dorsey went to Nigeria and wants to live there for 6 months this year. So anyway, that point was I want to have Sand token used as the public bank system, tie that in to the Sesacash, so that I can show off a local bank system in Africa, showing that we can do it. If it's affordable for them, we can do it. It all ties together with Telos Rex and having a local city system. And but yeah, man, it's all just ties together with Telos, because we'll have the worker proposal system, and that will let local citizens decide what gets funded. And because I've already funded Sand through the Telos worker proposal system for a few thousand Telos, I think I convinced the city of San Diego to start adopting Telos protocols and Telos wallets, start to play with them. But yeah, and there's one more thing, but let's see. So I'm looking down the list here of my different Discords. Just going down the list of all the different.
You go hard on Discord and Telegram, huh? Yes, you do. You're muted. Yeah, you've got a lot going. Go ahead.
But yeah, there's one more thing I was going to say. Something about let's see. Oh, the new decks. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. What was it? I think I was going to talk about the public bank thing and something about the Sand token, the San Diego Zoo, and yeah. Anyway, I think I went over everything, all the chat rooms. I'm basically going to have all the Discords and Telegrams on chatcrypto.me soon. Yeah, we'll do that so I can have all the chat rooms there. And we do give away a lot of crypto on Steem. It's called eosteem.net. Go to eosteem.net, and that'll take you to my Steem on EOS Telegram. So it's Steem on EOS is the Telegram, and I give away a lot of free Steem and EOS tokens there. And yeah, let's see, what was I going to say? Something about something about the local bank. It's really important. But anyway, just make sure to get that Cool X wallet to get that free Telos wallet, because you can get a free Telos mobile wallet.
Yes. All right, man. Well, what I appreciate about you is you're involved in so many projects and you have insight onto so many projects, and one of the few people who puts, the ideas of 20 projects together and kind of sees the matrix of how this crypto, EOSIO, Telos, EOS, Steem, DPOS, crypto, everything.
I call it SET. Steem, EOS, and Telos. It spells SET, like the Egyptian god of chaos.
On that note, that's the show for today, my EOS podcast friends. Cheers.
The money is not the prime asset in life. Time is.